What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 news update. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about the Ant-Man and the Wasp DLC pack, because the achievements have finally been released, and they reveal some very exciting new characters. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first up, the first achievement that we can see right here is called A Giant Man Among Insects, and this achievement definitely confirms that we'll be getting Scott Lang's new suit from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is very exciting, of course. But if you look carefully, you can see that Scott still looks to have the same helmet from the 2015 Ant-Man Final Battle Lego set. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of this piece because it's of course not accurate to what we see in the actual movie, but the LEGO Marvel's Avengers Ant-Man DLC was so much fun, so I eventually grew to accept that piece, and I'm sure I'll do the same this time around. Besides, as we all know, there's unfortunately no way around this. If LEGO have already made a specific piece, like for example the Ant-Man helmet, then TT Games simply have to use it. But regardless of all of this, I'm still very glad to see that this suit is going to be included in this DLC pack. Now, this next achievement is called Extraordinary Exploration, and it of course confirms that Giant Man is going to be part of the Ant-Man and the Wasp DLC pack, which is very exciting because it's not just any version of Giant Man, because at first glance I thought this was the Hank Pym version of the character, but after closer inspection I realized that this might actually be Raz Malhotra. Now, if you don't know who Raz Malhotra is, he is basically the current Giant Man in Marvel Comics right now, so it would totally make sense to put him in this DLC pack as a way of promoting his comic book. And he doesn't seem to be anything special, I think he has all the same abilities as Ant-Man and other characters like that, but I'm still looking forward to playing as him in this game, and of course, his pieces will make a great addition to the character customizer. Next up, we have the Ain't Just Chicken Feed achievement. Now, this was a tricky one because I had literally no clue whatsoever who this character was in the achievement icon, so it took a lot of searching around, and eventually I found a very obscure Spider-Man villain named Richard Deacon, but he's actually better known as the Human Fly. Now, after comparing images online with the achievement icon, I'm now fairly certain that the Human Fly is indeed who'll be part of this DLC pack, and I've got to be honest, I actually really like this character's design, so I'm personally really looking forward to playing as him in this game. Next up, we have the Stirring Up a Wasp's Nest. Now, this achievement slightly worries me, because here, of course, we can see Classic Yellow Jacket and Wasp, who are already unlockable in the main game. Now, the reason I'm worried about this is because the Black Panther DLC achievements featured Classic Shuri, as the MCU version of the character wasn't included in the DLC pack. And as we can see here, Hope Van Dyne's Wasp costume is literally nowhere to be seen. However, like I said in the Infinity War video, just because a character isn't pictured in any of the achievements, that doesn't mean that they aren't going to be included in this DLC pack. So let's think about this, because as you can see from the achievements, despite being a promotion for the movie, this looks to be a very comic book inspired level. I mean, the only MCU character that is officially confirmed to be part of this DLC pack is Scott Lang's new Ant-Man suit from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Everything else from Giant Man to the Human Fly and Egghead is all taken directly from the comic books. So with it being a very comic book inspired level, perhaps we play as Classic Yellow Jacket and Wasp as they take on the Human Fly and Egghead, and maybe as additional bonuses, MCU characters like Scott Lang's Ant-Man and Hope Van Dyne's Wasp are unlockable as well, but just don't feature in the level itself. I personally could definitely see that happening because, of course, Tulk, Kraglin, and Sakaar were all included in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 DLC pack, but didn't actually feature in the level. However, this is all just pure speculation, so for the real answer, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, this last achievement is called Fried Eggmen Sunny Side Singed, and this of course confirms that Egghead will be part of the Ant-Man and the Wasp DLC pack. Nothing too exciting here. I mean, this character was of course last seen in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, but hey, he's an Ant-Man villain, so he has every right to be in this DLC pack. Overall, I'm really looking forward to playing through this level. The Ant-Man pack for LEGO Marvel's Avengers was hands down the best DLC that was released for that game, so I'm really excited to see if they can actually top it this time around. And I'm definitely looking forward to all of the comic book content, and I think a lot of those pieces will be great additions to the character customizer. And remember, unless TT Games have a surprise announcement lined up, this will be the last DLC pack that is released for LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. And with it being called Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp movie character and level pack, I just hope that there is more MCU content hidden in this DLC that we don't know about yet. I mean, for instance, Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, Hope Van Dyne, and Luis were all in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. And I'd personally be more than happy if they just reuse their designs from that game. And the same goes for Bill Foster's comic book costume as well. You know, we're probably not going to get the Lawrence Fishburne version of the character, so I would love to see the comic book version of Bill Foster instead. Honestly, the character that I'm most shocked about that we haven't seen yet is Ghost. I mean, Ghost is the main antagonist in Ant-Man and the Wasp, so surely she has to be included in this DLC pack, right? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Now, after watching this video, you're probably wondering, am I disappointed in this DLC pack? Absolutely not. I am really looking forward to it, in fact, because what I love about TT Games is they always add these obscure characters, and it gives me an excuse to dive into the Marvel archives and learn about characters that I've never heard of. I'd never heard of the Human Fly, and after reading about him, I can't wait to play as him. I think he's going to be a really cool character. He's one of those weird and wacky villains that I've never heard of, and now I actually like. So I'm looking forward to this pack. The only thing I wanted to put across is, you know, why is there no MCU content aside from Ant-Man? I mean, this pack is called the Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp movie character and level pack. So I was just wondering, you know, where's Luis? Where's Ghost? Where's Janet Van Dyne? Hope Van Dyne? Hank? I mean, there's so many characters in there that are from the movies that are nowhere to be seen in this pack. I mean, you got to think the Guardians Volume 2, Black Panther, and it looks to be the same for Avengers Infinity War, all had just MCU content. But with this pack, it looks like they're doing something different, a mix of comic book content and maybe MCU content as well. But of course, what I will say is do not panic, because these are just achievement icons, and there are probably more characters in these DLC packs that we don't know about yet. Anyway, guys, as always, I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.